Welcome back to another episode of The Basement. I'm your host, Wyatt. At vaccination sites across the country, orchestras have been playing to help calm down people's nerves. Now, that's because the people getting vaccinated are about 65 and up, so the music playing might change based off the age group. Like one age group might have two of the Beatles, and another age group might have Drake. And the country Ethiopia dismissed evidence of war crimes after it was verified by CNN, and the president of Brazil, Bolsonaro, shrugged off criticism that he is genocidal after 4,000 daily COVID deaths. Guys, this isn't things you can shrug off or dismiss. These are pretty serious accusations. War crimes? Genocide? No one was like rolling their eyes at World War II, okay? This is stuff you gotta take a bit more seriously. In other news, a helicopter dropped off eggs for kids during Easter. Unfortunately, the eggs were filled with hard candy, and many of the eggs landed on children's heads, who are now in the hospital with severe head injuries. Related to children, the children's seatbelt bill has not been passed, and it hit a roadblock. Get it? Because roadblocks, seatbelts, both things on roads. Anyways, the children's seatbelt bill would make kids 17 and under have to wear a seatbelt while in the car. But it wasn't passed because we just want to see how many we can get rid of. Meanwhile, in Chile, the opposite is happening. They want to see how many kids they can get, as they distributed faulty birth control pills and now have over 150 pregnant women who weren't trying to get pregnant. Two very different scenarios going on. Our Oscar nominee for this week was Minari, which fits all the criteria for an Oscar Best Picture nominee by being incredibly boring. The first 5 minutes of this movie, you're just sitting there while you're driving behind a truck, and it doesn't get much more interesting than that. The entire movie is about a family that moves to Arkansas, already not that interesting, because the dad wants to start a 50-acre farm. Still not that interesting. Why does he want to start the 50-acre farm? You never learn why. But you do learn that the dad is really good at something called chicken sexing. And that's just when you look at a chicken and determine whether it's a boy or a girl. He was so good at that they thought it was worth mentioning multiple times in the movie. Now, this family's grandma also comes down to visit, and the little boy in the family bullies the grandma for no good reason. He brings her pee and says it's Mountain Dew, and she drinks the pee. That little boy is the entire reason why this movie is also very similar to the children's book called No, David. He's a terrible kid. He's really bad. The kids in this movie also don't go to school. Again, I don't know why, but by the very end of the movie, one big thing happens and it's terrible, and it makes the entire movie very unfulfilling, but it was still better than Nomadland. This episode of The Basement was brought to you by coffee. Do you have anxiety and want it to be worse? Well, then you'll love coffee. With just 1 cup of it, you'll be up all night just sitting there in bed in the dark thinking about any mistake you've ever made your entire life. And you're awake all night thinking about it. It's amazing. And it also makes you poop for some reason. No one knows why. Thanks for watching another episode of The Basement. I'm your host, Wyatt. And don't forget to let me know what movies you want me to review after the Oscars. I'll see you next time.